So, okay, welcome back. I'm surprised about your spirit and about your integrity in the techniques on the rovers, and that you are made this in a very short time. I know that the watch is running fast when there's an appointment like that, and you have no time to finish everything, that you have no time also to finish or to invest all your ideas inside. But believe me, it is very important to make now this cup that you can test and brief your rover and make it fit for the bigger race, what is then in April next year. Because we find out that it is good to have an event like this where you can get a lot of hints and where you see what is broken. Better it broke now, as in Huntsville, Alabama, when you invested a lot of money into the flight and into the accommodation, what is there also important. I want to give you some hints for technical requirements, what I saw on the rovers, what I listened now by your presentation. And then I want to speak about the safety, what is always important before we are starting the race. What I tell you before in the first presentation is safety first. When you want to go to the space, then you should make no fail. Now you can fail, but you fail to learn. Yeah, to learn what is the problem and how you can solve it. You can make fails, but you shouldn't make the same fail 2 times. It is important. The first is what you need on your rover for the future is this differential gear. This is a heart of a vehicle. You have in India a lot of vehicles. Disassemble it and disassemble a differential gear and understand how it works. This is a 3D print from a construction what our students made in a time of 5 years. Yeah? This is the 3rd generation of it. It can eat 300 Newton meter forces. This is a strange or a force of a truck. You can put 2 pedals on it, and you have the right and the left axle, and only with this gear you can turn around the corners without problems, without the broken axle. Our first rovers with our first teams in 2007 and 2008 had also no differential gear, so you can make a photo now, had also no differential gear, and we broke in 2 axles in that time, and we wonder why. You need a differential gear, this is important. Who else is interested in those gear? You can make a workshop with us in the summer next year. I will teach you how to design and how to produce such a gear. And you can produce the parts by yourself on the machines, but this is high quality. You need a tolerance of 0.05 millimeters. Any scratch on the surface of a piece here is a fail. And so you must work. Tolerances should be 0.3 millimeters, and when you have a gear like that, you need a tolerance of 0.05 millimeters. If you don't make this, you will have a broken axle, or you have a bearing what makes noises, what eats your energy. You need every single watt what you can push into the pedals to have 1 second more to win the distance between the 1st, 2nd or 3rd or 4th place. A lot of times our students came to the race and don't use any second and any minute what they have. They sit on the table, enjoy the meat, enjoy the eat, and or they phoned with their parents at home. And I said, please go to the workshop and test and try to test your rover and to improve yourself. Then after the race, when they get a result, sometimes we had a number 4, the 4th place, and 1 second was missing to get the 3rd place, and the 3rd place is the place on the stage. The 4th place is nothing. And then they understand it was right to use every single second what you have before, and you can say after that, I gave everything. Okay, the second thing what you need is a wheel without air inside. Tomorrow you can drive with bike wheels, it's no problem. But on the what you saw on the video, somebody was pumping his bike wheel on the moon, you can't do this. Yeah? So you need a non-pneumatic wheel. This is a high quality non-pneumatic wheel what we built 2 years ago. This is an injection molded piece. It was running 4 times over the course because these are more stable than the other what we built. And you see it also that it is damaged a little bit. This is a real rover wheel what made the course 4 times on 4 different rovers. We were able to change this. I saw a team who has axles with 12 or 10 millimeters. These are normal bike axles. Don't do this. Use 20 millimeter axles and special steel. This is 20 millimeter. You find this by downhill bikes. Yeah, the bikes with downhill wheels have 20 millimeter axles. The problem is you have only one holder and then you put the wheel on the axle, and it is not like a bike, like a bicycle, that you have 2 holders and the axle between. By the rover you have only one holder on the axle. And your axle will be broken when it has no 20 millimeters. You can make a hole inside of 10 millimeters to save mass, this is no problem. But you should use a very strange material. We also broken those axles, but we know now why it was broken, because the welder did not use the correct welding system. Too many carbonite inside. So, these are the 2 things what I need to say you by the technical requirements. All other things you can look into the NASA.gov/rover challenge website. There is a guidebook where all requirements and the techniques are inside. 2 pilots and the size 5x5. Everything what was taught by Mr. Navdeep Singh, Vishnu Vanchi is correct. Some rules are new, but you will learn this in the next weeks and months. I don't want to overload you with the new rules, but it is nothing what is bad. One interesting thing is new. You should have a solar panel on your rover, but you can disassemble as an experiment with a tripod. So in Huntsville you must make a task. So maybe you have a small tripod like this with a solar panel on it, and the solar panel should be connected with a LED and with a switch that you can switch it on and off. And this is experiment. You know that the astronauts on the moon made a lot of experiments. They must put something on the moon surface, like a reflector for laser, or like a geological experiment for censoring the earthquakes inside. But it must be far away from the spaceship, because when the spaceship is launching, everything will be blowing away. So you need a rover to carry it far. Then you must put the task on the ground. You must switch it on, you must see on an LED that it works, and then you can go back to the rover and then you go into your course. This is new, and I think you can motivate a lot of friends who will be excited to make such a task. This is what I want to say you now, because you need this. Other things is not so important, like a telemetry. This is an extra price also now. So, to the safety. NASA said always safety first, and this is the same what we should do also. You need a helmet, you need Google glasses, safety glasses. It should not be brown like sunglasses, it should be white, that you see something, but that you are protected against dust and stones. And it is dirty on the course when you drive fast and the wheels are spinning fast, and it comes up the sand into the eyes of the second driver. This is not nice. When you cannot see something, then you cannot drive, you will not win the race, and you will have an accident after that. So you need gloves, on your hands, that you have your hands next to the wheel, you have the steering joints next to the wheel. When the wheel will be broken or a stone comes up, you will be wounded, so you need gloves. all your skin should be covered with textiles. So you need a long arm and a long leg. Don't go with short legs. Also when you make a training, use shoes, not flips, flops or something. Use shoes. And you take a helmet, glasses, gloves and a suit what is long. Also when you make a training and posting photos into your Facebook, you should post for every training and every activity a report. And this report should be on the Team India group, so that NASA can also see what for a team is coming. Yeah? I saw some teams who are driving without shoes on the rovers. This is against the rules. You should also hold the rules at home. And this is the driver requirement. On the rover you should have fenders, that you have a dust fender. And you should also see that there is no sharp corner. This is not, it is important. Maybe you drive through the course, people are standing left and right, tomorrow is a festival here, they are looking, they are exciting, and you make a mistake and you drive into the people and you have sharp corners and you have rounded people. This is not possible. Only one insurance in the head or on the skin on a space station or on a spaceship who will fly to the Mars. This will be the death of this astronaut. In a weightlessness, it is not, it goes fast. When you be shocked or surprised and you turn yourself and you bump your head on the spaceship, then you have a hole, it is blooding, it must be closed. And in this moment you must be in the bed, you cannot move so much because it needs 10 days to be healthy. And for these 10 days you must stop your physical training on the Mars ship. With 10 days stop of a physical training, you have not that condition to make a re-entry safety into the atmosphere. That's why when you are insured on a space station, on a Mars simulation, then you are a dead people. And this you don't want. Yeah, you must understand this, that you pay a lot of attention for safety and of course no sharp corners. NASA will come when you are there with tape and will cover everything what is sharp. You made so a lot of work, you invested so a lot of ideas into your rover, you patch all the sponsors on it, what makes you proud, and then they are coming and patch and cover it with tape, and the sponsors are not seen. This is a pain. Yeah? So pay attention before that. Sitting on the rover, you need a safety belt. Yeah? Only safety belts from cars are allowed, not other things. No ropes, no things, no chains. You need a safety belt from a car. I do not know if everybody has a safety belt from a car. So that's why we make the course not so hard like in Huntsville. The course is a little bit more easier. And when you have not a car belt now, then we will give a penalty, but we will not give disqualify like at NASA. Okay? You get a penalty for everything what is not correct. You see that in our guidebook, what is also on my Facebook page, or ask Mr. Navdeep where you find this in the guidebook is written on which place you get a penalty. When you touch the ground, when you hit the pin, when you hit a border, when you have something is not correct on the car, on the rover, then you get a penalty from 30 seconds. When you fold your rover, unfold it, so we count the time what you need to unfold the rover, sit on it, take the safety belt and hands up. This time we are counting. And then the second time what we're counting is from the start to the finish line. How long ever you need from start to the finish line, this time we count, plus the assembly time. This is your unofficial race time. And after the unofficial race times, we add the penalties. If you have some penalties, your time will be rising. If you have no penalties, then your first race time is the end time. And so we find out who is first, who is last. Yeah? But you must not be unhappy when you get penalties. It is good to get it, so you know what you made wrong. No? Better now than later. So I think that was it. And do you have any questions? Any questions for the technical on the rover? So you should not use any storage systems for energy, except your battery of the camera. No, no springs, no joints, no accumulators, no electro motor or something. You must pedal by yourself. We will split the challenge later with that you can build also electro motor inside, but this is then not running with the NASA, but it runs then with a green car, with a electro car challenge. But at this NASA rover challenge you should not do this. And I can also explain why. I think you can imagine that if you're running with this rover over the moon, you will need a very heavy spacesuit. Yeah, you cannot run so on the moon, or cannot go. You need a heavy spacesuit. One of these spacesuits has a mass of around about 100 kilograms. We can also make electromotor inside, but then you have to get a very big and heavy spacesuit. And outside we have 33 degrees temperature. I think it is better to sit on the rover with a short and with small clothings and push the pedals so we can learn how hard is it to walk over the moon. And it has another effect also. When you design and construct your rover and you sit always in the computer to design it by CAD, or you sit in the workshop to work on it, then you need also a physical training. An engineer without a physical training is not a good engineer, because the oxygen in the blood is missing. And without oxygen you have no ideas. Yeah? That's why you must find out the balance between technical requirements and physical training. Yeah? We have at NASA two extremes. The one extreme is low-tech buggies and high-motivated teams from a sports school of Puerto Rico. They have so a lot of spirit in it, they can catch everything by their spirit and by their training with a low technique buggy. And on the opposite side we have high-ranking young engineers who make everything in CAD and build a very perfect rover that you can think that is a Porsche. And when they sit on it, they have not the muscles to drive it over the course, because they always sit in the workshop. So what you must do is find the balance between building and training. Don't make it so that you only build it without training. You must build something and then say stop, put it out of the workshop and drive it so long that you need the workshop again because something is broken. And take him hard against the obstacles. Make it training. You need that in Huntsville, because this is most exciting. Between 3 and 6 minutes what you need on the course. You can also drive bicycle, you can go into the gym, but you need also the physical training with the rover to find the feeling how to control him. Some of these teams by us can control this rover by centimeters. We had a team who was able to drive 80 kilometers per hour with a rover. We had a team who was able to jump 2 meters high, 6 meters long, and they are still alive. Yeah? And they were again in the course. This is the challenge, what is coming, and your rover should be prepared for that. At the end you should also prepare for the medias, and the medias is important. They share everything, every spirit what you have, and you need also young students, involve young students inside you. You need the medias for that, and that's why I have a photo camera always by myself and have only a cover that you get back. It should be tested. In the first time, since the beginning of this challenge, there was the rover that has a name Moon Buggy. And this is a nice word. Now it has a name NASA rover, because they want to go not only to the moon of our Earth, they want to go to Mars and beyond. So, and that's the call is name 1, 2, 3 and all call back moon buggy. Very loud so that you can hear it on the photo camera and the photo. Is this okay? Are you ready? Yeah? 1, 2, 3. Moon buggy. 1, 2, 3. Moon buggy. 1, 2, 3. Moon buggy.